Blog Talk Radio.
Elena Radford was born in Peru and lived most of her life in South America. She came from a lineage that stemmed from an ancient Inca culture. This lineage of people possessed unique abilities that allowed them to see on many levels other than just the physical realm. Elena Radford had access to some of these spiritual gifts even at a young age. She had the ability to connect to other realities besides the physical realm, such as the soul, spirit, conscious, subconscious, and DNA. These sacred gifts have been carried throughout her lineage to her people to empower themselves. Elena wants to share her life experiences to allow her to bring the knowledge and wisdom we are seeking by telling us her story about how she became an Inca shaman and why she is so dedicated to empowering us in the new way of life that brings love and connection. She made contracts of love with her ancestors that allow her to channel and communicate their knowledge to the world as it is now. The message is that this knowledge will create a better world. Elena's teleseminars allow her to teach some of these techniques. Please visit www.elenaradford.com for more information. And now, welcome to Elena Radford.
Hello, everyone. I'm really happy to be here with you today and share some of my experiences, because I know that if I share my experience, possibly it will be for you a place where you can regain some knowledge or understanding of who you are. So here's my story today. And I'm going to have my light worker helping me because he's the one who trained me in learning how to feel. So a while ago, when I was a single mother, I'm still a single mother, but my kids are very, 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 very young. And so it was beautiful to see how devoted I was to them. And you know, I really didn't really have that much time to be able to develop my gifts because I was inside of a box in a lot of ways. And so always trying to do what do I have to do in order to fit in society, right? And I remember coming from Peru when I was 18 years old to go to college here. That was my dream. I'm going to go to college here in the United States. So regardless what it is, I was going to do what I needed to do. So I remember once I got in college, I started remembering that I felt that I needed to fit in a box. I needed to be part of the group. I needed to be in a specific type of conversation if I wanted to be accepted by everybody else. And when I was talking to my life worker and he was explaining this to me, he was saying, listen, you know, I want you to think about this, how structured and how set we are in ways of doing things. He says, take the energy of paper, right? So when it takes the energy of the paper, it takes the form of a toilet paper. There's a specific use that you have for the toilet paper. A lot of times it's just for, you know, it doesn't leave from the bathroom. The purpose is in that. If you have towel paper, it has to do more with cleaning things, right? And yes, it is. Through time, we have developed a specific tissues or forms for that paper to be able to be a cleaning paper. And then we go to tissue paper. You just make it softer, so when it comes to and you're cleaning your nose or your mouth gets to be very gentle, very soft. So we're not only separated what a paper can be used for, but now we're giving specific qualities. Why it can be so good in using these, and why it has to be in that specific role. And if I were to use towel paper to clean my nose, in general, there is a rejection. There's like, no, this is not what is this for. And I go back into the box, and I'll go back into using the tissue paper for my nose. So while I was having this conversation with my light worker, I started understanding, yeah, we train ourselves to be in this conversation. And I remember one time what he's explaining to me, these are the reasons why we choose to stop feeling without even realizing we're already in a society that we're being trained not to feel. We're being trained to be logical. Why it has to be done in this way? Why it has to be done in this way? So I was not getting it. It was taking me a long time, in the sense that I could not get it. So my kids were going on vacation with the dad to Hawaii. So I was so excited because I was going to have 1 week for myself, and I was going to watch TV, and I was going to do all the fun things that I didn't get to do when I was with my children, taking care of them. So it was my week for me, right? And I remember it was like around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I finished cleaning the house, and I went to lay in my bed, and then a light worker came to me, right? Because at this point, I'm still dimensional. I'm still seeing things, and I'm learning something new, right? So he comes to me, and he talks to me, and he talks through my heart, and he says, we're going to teach you how to feel to go to the next level. And I say, okay, whatever it is, it was a safe environment, and I knew I could learn that. So I lay in my bed, and he said, I'm going to put you in a room, energetically room, where you have to figure out a way how to get out of that room. And the first thing that came to me was fear. Oh my gosh, I'm going through experience without my light worker. He said to me, I am going to be outside of the room, but I cannot experience this with you. You have to do this on your own. Okay, so because I trust him so much, I trusted him so much, being separated to me, because I was just building my self-confidence, and he was playing such a big part of it. So not to be able to see him in a multidimensional experience was not a very easy thing for me. So I saw him leaving the room, and the door was closed. And here I am, in this place that is so, so dark. And I'm thinking, okay, the only way I can get out here, because now here I am, right? I need to figure out how to get here. How do I figure out how to get here? So I first went into the anger. And then, I cannot be here for that long. I have a lot of things to do. This is not a place where I need to be. This is where I'm supposed to be having vacation. My kids are having vacation, so I have the right to have vacations too. So I was just trying to get out of that darkness, and I couldn't. And then again, I was like, okay, I'm getting tired here, and I don't know why I have to experience this. And more, I keep thinking and bringing ideas from my mind. And so, and I kept thinking, okay, so how do I open this door? And I need to be able to figure out a way how to get out here. And so I tried different things, and I started getting upset and with fear. I start trying to be co-independent with time and space. I don't like this space. I'm spending too much time here. And in the conversation of this, I start realizing that nothing of this was working. Nothing. I was still trapped in the same darkness that I went into the room. And so finally, because they couldn't figure it out for me, I have to learn on my own. I came with a feeling of compassion. I start feeling it's okay to be patient. I start feeling. And I was still there. And so I was thinking, oh, it's getting a little lighter. It's feeling a little better. This really dark space is feeling a little better. So I remember thinking in the love that I had for my kids. And this room got brighter. Now I start thinking into who I can be or what I can learn. So while they're gone, even though I'm having fun, I'm still going to be prepared to be the mother I wanted to be. Now it's coming from my heart. And the room started getting lighter, but the door was not being open, right? So I went back into judgment. Wow, I'm doing this right. Why I'm still here? I need to get out here. I have a lot of things to do. It went darker, and I got more trapped. The room felt smaller. So I started thinking, oh, okay. So the room gets smaller and darker if I go into my head without taking into account my heart. So I went to the next experience, and I say, it is okay to make mistakes. Wow. Suddenly the room grew and it get lighter. Now the transformation of time and space was changing. I was realizing that in my mind, by not feeling how small we get in time and space. And so I went into my heart. I was still a little scared, right? Because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what about if I don't get out of this room? What about if I die? Maybe this is the process of dying. Maybe this is the way how it is when everybody starts getting older. We just start thinking that maybe time and space gets smaller the older that we get when we start giving up. Now I'm start thinking, I'm analyzing things, including my heart. Okay, so what do I have to do? If going into fear, it makes this room smaller. Oh, then I start thinking about people who get depressed, or the times I get depressed. I just go into my mind and I make that room darker and smaller. When I'm depressed, I'm not using my heart. So here I am trying to go into that feeling again. And suddenly I don't feel any of my light workers. And for the first time through that experience, I say, I like myself. And I sat there for a moment to feel how much I enjoy the feeling of liking myself. And then I saw the door being open. And I saw my light worker looking at me. And he just looked at me with that smile. He didn't have to say anything. And I just can feel what he was feeling about me through his heart. You did it. This experience stayed with me for several days. Because there's nothing worse to be trapped in the dark and to be able to figure out a way out until you really understand that darkness. That darkness is what's trapping you your whole life. And it's not until you go into the energy of your heart that you understand that every possibility, everything that you want to create is in the energy of your heart. You can combine them, the energy of your heart and the energy of your mind. But, do I expect you to do this right away? No. By the time I got out of that place, I was laying in my bed for 3.5 hours trying to get out of that experience and out of that training. That's how far I was from feeling. So, do I know the power of feeling now? Of course I know the power of feeling. Do I know the power of time and space, the roles that they play when we're trapped in our illusions? Yes, it suffocates us. Do I know the freedom that comes with feeling? Do I still have to go into that space a lot of times? When I go into my head, I have to go back into my heart? Of course, I do it every single day. But because of that experience, I see the value of being in my feelings. And this is what I want to share with you. Because this is how I learned to create abundance, by being in my heart. We all can learn. We all can learn. So whatever limitation put us in belief, the feelings are not important. I can tell you they're important because I remember myself that day 5 years ago. And who I am now, it is where I really want to be. But do I still want to feel more and more? Of course I want to feel more and more. Because now I know I can do more things with the feelings. And I know you can too. So that's the message for today. To keep trying and going into your heart and create in your heart. Because there's so many benefits that come with that. So thank you very much for listening to this message this week. And my love goes to you, to each one of you, and the love of my light workers and the creation that is supporting us to go into the next level of feelings. So you have a wonderful, wonderful day.
You have been listening to My Life as an Inca Shaman. For more information about our programs, please visit our website, www.elenaradford.com.